sure it used to read both on here. And they had ours.
We'll call this meeting of the Committee of the Whole to order at 6:25. Roll call, please.
Miss Allen? Mayor Murphy?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here?
Mr. Daughtery?
Here.
Mr. Burchett?
Here.
Miss Witt?
Here,
Miss Marcus?
Here.
I'll make a motion to excuse Mrs. Allen from this meeting tonight.
Roll call.
Miss Witt?
Yes,
Mr. Burchett?
Yes.
Mr. Daughtery?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mayor Murphy?
Yes.
Miss Marcus?
Yes. We have the approval of the minutes from the Committee of the Whole on May 8th. If there are no changes, corrections, they will be approved as they are. Hearing none, they are approved. City Manager, did you have a report?
I have no report, Ms. Marcus, thank you.
Mayor Murphy,
I have no report at this time, thank you.
Law Director,
No report, thank you.
Clerk of Council.
Karen had a great time on her trip. She's stuck in traffic.
That's good news.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move into business. The first item is the codified ordinances, Merit System Commission rules.
Yes, thank you. You may recall, earlier in the year, there was an ordinance before council to adopt the Merit Service Commission rules at MCO 149. The rules that are currently there were updated recently by the Merit System Commission, or the Merit Service Commission, excuse me. And so what we would like to do is bring back that tabled ordinance to the first meeting in June in order to codify the updated Merit System Commission rules at MCO 149. So I would just need a motion to move that forward to the next regular meeting of council. Thank you.
I'll make a motion that we move it to the first meeting in June.
Any comments or questions? Call, please.
Mayor Murphy?
Yes.
Miss Witt?
yes,
Mr. Burchett?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Daughtery?
Yes.
Miss Marcus?
Yes. Second item is the supplemental appropriations ordinance request for the fire department.
We have our radio systems, our alerting systems in our firehouses. The end of, I guess you could say, life is going to be July 1st. I was just notified this a couple months ago. So this is not budgeted, but we did have money from our UTV that we didn't get. So we're going to use the 30,000 for it. So we need supplemental 7,567 for the rest of it to get the systems upgraded. So we were able to get our alerts in the fire stations.
I'll make a motion that we have legislation drawn up for supplemental appropriations ordinance request according to the fire chief.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Miss Witt?
Yes,
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Burchett?
Yes.
Mayor Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Daughtery?
Yes.
Miss Marcus?
Yes. The second item is the National League of Cities membership.
Yes, I was just thinking about it, that we were always in it, and it has helped us in the past to be in it. So giving it a lot more thought, I asked that the city manager if we could put this back on our agenda.
What does it cost? I seem to remember something like $12.50 a year.
15.
It's nominal. I can take a real quick look. I
Okay.
think it's, yeah, I'll take a quick look.
If it's around 1,500, that's fine.
The money wasn't why we quit going.
There was some
Right.
question about what benefits we got from it,
Exactly.
as I recall.
And other things.
And other things.
Yeah.
Do we have money? You wouldn't know. We have money in our council budget for something like this.
I'm
It-
pretty sure that when our trip and everything was, they left the money in for that,
Yeah.
but we voted to get out of it. But there was still money for the trips when and if council decided to go back.
So she has on her notes here that it was not budgeted.
It would be the fee for 5,000 to 10,000 in population would be $1,314 for fiscal year '25. I'm not sure if they prorate for part of a year or, you know, how they do that. Or if it just continues and you wouldn't have to renew until this time next year.
Did we have someone check into that and bring it back to us?
I can do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yep, we can table it.
okay. Do we need a vote to table that? Have a voice vote to table this legislation till the next meeting? Roll call, please.
Mayor Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Donnery,
Yes.
Mr. Burchett,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Witt,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus.
Yes. The next one is the TO chart change for the street division.
My turn. Okay, a couple years ago, I came, or I think it was me, I came to you guys and asked that we make a new position in our department for a facility groundskeeper. We took a position from our street maintenance and made a facility groundskeeper position that didn't require a CDL license. Position worked out great, we hired somebody. The problem is now, since we've done that, the process and the requirements to get your CDL license have changed. Now it's like, if you get it on your own, it's like 40 hours of drive time, 40 hours of classroom, and it's anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 to obtain your CDL license. So I'm asking that we go back to the way it was and require CDL license in order to apply and get the job. That way, we don't have the burden of trying to get somebody their CDL license. I think it'll help us out a lot. It's kind of a lot to ask somebody new to come on and then have to go to all this schooling and all this stuff and then risk not getting their CDL license and, you know, not being able to keep the job. So I'm asking that we take that facility groundskeeper position and move it back to the street maintenance worker position before we do our next hire. That way we can just hire straight into that classification. Our facility groundskeeper that we currently have now went upon himself and got his CDL license, so everybody in my department has their CDL license. And I would like to keep it that way instead of bringing somebody else in that doesn't have them. And it gives us a wider variety, too, of them being able to do, you know, if we get short staff on snowplow driving for the dump trucks, they can drive. And just having everybody with CDLs makes it a lot nicer for us.
Has
See-
any,
Oh, sorry.
has any one of them ever had to pay it on their own?
No.
Okay, good.
Well, Tyler, the facility
Groundskeeper.
groundskeeper, yes.
So he had to do it on his own?
But there was actually a program that the Cable Council did, as long as you already worked for a city, that you could go and do it, and it was a lot cheaper. But the person that ran that program retired or quit, and now they're not offering it anymore. If they were still offering that program, it would still be probably worth doing and bringing somebody in, but since they're not doing that anymore, I just don't see the benefit in trying to have the hassle, you know. It's enough to try to train a new person on, and on top of them trying to get their CDL license is just a lot of work.
But if we changed it, would there be any way to go back and reimburse him for what he spent?
I don't think he's worried about that. No, I
But
don't.
that'd be the fair way.
Yeah, I mean, there's other guys that have been hired on here that have paid for their own CDLs because
that's
they
what
got
I-
them before they came in.
Okay,
So, yeah,
but they didn't get hired and then go.
no. See, because he was in a position where he didn't have to have it, so it was on him to get it.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't forced to
He
get it.
wasn't required.
No,
Okay.
he did it on his own.
Well, that makes the difference.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
he was not forced to get it, so that's the difference. But before we
Okay.
get to that point, I would like to go ahead and change it back, so we don't,
Right.
it's just a lot cleaner for us.
Is he gonna stay as the groundskeeper, though?
He's going, his position title will change, but yes, he's gonna stay as the
Okay.
groundskeeper, yeah.
Oh,
He's
good.
He's too good to let him go, so.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, it looks really nice around the city, that's
Yeah.
why I asked.
Yeah, and then, the only other thing I had with the TO chart, one was that, and then, two, I would like to mirror ours, kind of like the police and fire are, where they have an extra position at that entry level, so that we could hire somebody and get them in the door without having to do promotions first. So right now where we're at, we lost one of our guys, April 1st was his last day. And this is a busy time of the year. We weren't expecting to lose him. He no longer works here. But for us to go through the whole process of promoting somebody before we can hire, it's months down the road, which keeps us short-staffed. It would be nice to have an extra position here where we could get them in the door, get somebody started, and then do the promotions afterwards. That way we have, an extra body in that's able to help do the work. And it's not an added budgeted item, right?
Correct. It's a shell position to be able to allow them to speed up the process, but the actual number of employees that Chris would have in the department would remain the same. Another, not only an unexpected loss, Chris, but like if we knew someone was getting ready to retire, right? It allows us to process and get the person hired and working at about the same time that person would move out in retirement.
Yeah, it just kind of helps
Or
speed up the process.
shortly thereafter.
Yeah, with the testing and everything that we require, I think it would just benefit us a little bit if we could, bring them in the door and then do the promotions. That way we can still maintain the level of service that we need to do.
So would that be covered under the chart change?
No, I think we would have to move the facility groundskeeper back into the street maintenance worker, which would give that another position. And then we would need to add another street
You
maintenance
would
worker.
allow an
right?
additional number in the TO, but it wouldn't actually be funded from a budget perspective. It would just allow the hiring process to be expedited.
Yeah, and
And
I
then
think
move to-
police and fire is
And
similar.
it's a current practice with both the chiefs
Right.
currently.
But we'd need two pieces of legislation.
Okay.
We can do it with one, okay.
Well, I'll make the motion that we change the TO chart for the street division.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mayor Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Daughtery,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Burchett,
Yes.
Ms. Witt,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus.
Yes. Our final item is the purchase order requisition correction. Days then and now.
Good evening. The police department had a project that spanned multiple years, and we had several purchase orders and requisitions open to the same vendor for very similar things. And we inadvertently closed one that we need. Because the year ended, it's technically a then and now, so I'm requesting two pieces of legislation. The first one would be a resolution authorizing the then and now so that we can open a PO. And then because it was originally funded out of the capital project line, I believe I need a supplemental into the capital improvement budget in the amount of the purchase order. And we didn't use that money, so it technically went back into the city's general fund when we closed it. So it's not like it's costing us any extra. It's just the fact that we inadvertently closed a purchase order that we need.
You know how much this is?
$72.40.
Both of you had 7,000.
I'm sorry?
I said both you and the fire department had almost the same amount.
Well, I'll
For,
make a
for
motion-
radio stuff even, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we do the two pieces of legislation according to what the chief said. One to or to approve, authorize the then and now to open a PO, and then the other one supplemental into capital fund.
Thank
From
you.
the capital fund. Capital fund.
Any other
No, it
questions or
said
comments?
to the Supplemental into capital.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes. Do we have anybody who wish to appear before council? Do we have any staff or members that won't have anything to say?
Ms. Marcus, if you don't mind, I want to clarify the letter 2 in business, the supplemental appropriation for the fire division. There's actually two pieces of information there. One is the radios that Chief spoke about, and then the other was in regards to a grant award that we received for $2,500. That also was unexpected, unbudgeted, and so we'd like to have a supplemental so that we can accept that grant and spend it. So I just wanted to clarify, there's actually two pieces of that supplemental legislation.
Under the impression we were talking about both of them when we did it.
No.
No, because it wasn't mentioned. I'll make a motion that we accept the 2,500 grant for the fire department.
Now, is there any cost to the city, or is that just the amount of the grant is what they're spending?
Just the amount of the grant, I believe.
Any other comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Donnery,
Yes.
Ms. Witt,
Yes.
Mr. Burchett,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, hi. I just wanted to kind of bring this idea up to you guys. Start off by giving some statistics. According to the EPA, the important pollinator quantities and amount of bees and such that we have has declined over the years.
I'm
and it's
sorry, I'm
continuing.
having trouble hearing you.
Okay,
Think you're on.
is that any better?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So according to the EPA, the number of pollinators has fallen and is continuing to decline over the past several years, and this has become a serious environmental concern that I'm sure many of you have heard about. This has become a threat to our ecosystems, and it could potentially affect the production of many of the important crops statewide, not just within our city here. There is hope and ways to help. Anyone who can help ensure that our environment and the insects that work it remain healthy. There are very simple examples of little things that anybody can do to help. You can leave out a shallow dish of water on a windowsill, and it'll give pollinators a chance to stop and get some water, reducing the number of pesticides, which in gardens and lawns. A bee box could be installed, which it's not going to create a hive, but it'll just give them a chance to sit and rest and try to gain some energy back. And then planting nectar-rich flowers is a really good option to help these pollinators. But us here in the city of Marine, we have many opportunities to help make a large impact. With input and approval from the department heads, who I've been speaking with over these past few months, I put together a plan for a pollinator garden. For our first test garden, I was hoping to utilize the empty lot that is south of the municipal building. Not only would it help with pollinator conservation, but it would also provide opportunities to benefit the city of Marine community and the ecosystem. It would increase the variety of plants, flowers, butterflies, and birds, enhance the crop quantity and quality, reduce the greenhouse gases, help with water pollution, create small nature parks that everybody can enjoy. We could host events that would help create and install the gardens that citizens can participate in, and would also save us money because we would be mowing a lot less area. To start this almost 3-acre garden, we would need about 25 to 30 pounds of seed, a sign or two identifying the pollinator garden, and a temporary barrier until the plants have a chance to establish themselves and grow. It's my hope that City Council will sponsor this first garden, which would be indicated on the signage, and it would kickstart community-sponsored gardens throughout the city. It would be a lasting impact of beautification, a show of love to the community, and being sponsored by the City Council on the signage, it would show that it's a gift from the council to the city. So my question to you guys is this something that you would, as members of council, would be interested in pursuing? And I can move forward with some more finalized plans and funding as well.
Number one, who's going to be doing this?
It would be a combination effort of, I've had input from Parks and Rec to make community events to create seed cans or an event to go out and spread the seeds. Streets would stop mowing in the area.
When
and
they
then-
have to till up the grass there,
So-
they'd have to till it all.
Do something.
In this area, just south of the municipal building, it would not need tilled since it was just recently turned over and seeded with the storage, the temporary storage of the ODOT equipment there. And with the seeding that they had placed last year, it could remain, and the pollinator seeding would be able to be placed over it.
Would it be beneficial for one garden or maybe smaller gardens throughout the city? I know there's been talk before with council that parking is limited at the city building, and we've possibly looked at that site for maybe additional parking in the future. I don't know if we could make that work or maybe spread them out across the city a little bit. Does that add too much work?
It could be easily spread out. The idea was to kind of have a landmark and show, look what we can do. This is easy to do on any kind of small scale, from one single pot in your garden to the 3 acres that are available and undeveloped.
These would be native plants, right?
Yes, it's a specific blend to this area of Ohio.
Whose budget would all this come out of?
Hopefully nobody's. If I can pursue this effort, then I can get
Grant?
grants and fundings from multiple sources.
Wasn't there something in the Parks and Rec study that we did about a butterfly garden or something like that? Could that be combined with it? I think I think there was a suggested location. I could be mistaken, but I think there was.
The suggested location for that is right out here on top of this hill. But, you know, with not having the exact details of the park, I don't know exactly how that would look. It's just we have a vision of where it would go. So we have discussed this matter. It is something that we did put into the budget a couple years ago. Kelly was going to, we were gonna get some signs and all that kind of stuff, but they were gonna be in different parts of the cities in our parks, not necessarily where she's suggesting. It was just gonna be, like you said, smaller ones throughout our parks. So, yes, there is that idea for that.
Couldn't we put it at the top of the hill where, in front of where the right trail is?
Yeah.
That big section?
That
Put
was-
both- Could you put butterflies and bees together?
They could have it together, yeah.
Do they?
It'd be a wild-looking animal.
I mean, you're looking at a nice little butterfly and you're looking at a bee.
No, they're always together.
Yeah, so that has been an area of discussion right up to there. So,
I think that would be better
yeah.
up there because that, to me, is wasted land, I mean, than beside the city building, in case we do want to ever put in a parking lot or something over there. That land up there, that would look beautiful up there to have nothing but a field of flowers.
I would say maybe the only thing, if we were wanting people to get there, the access to that isn't necessarily the
parking, yeah.
easiest. There's really no parking. You have to walk up the hill or park across in the neighborhood to get to that side.
I didn't know, were we planning on putting a parking
No.
lot in there?
Oh, no.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying there
Now you're
is,
saying the people come to visit.
the people that
Oh.
come to
Place
visit,
to park.
there wouldn't be, they would have to figure out how to get up there, whether it's up the hill or hike Dave's Trail halfway through and come out into,
Well, my
Right, right.
opinion, if
Yeah.
you're planning a lot of things for a lot of bees, I'm not gonna go visit it. I'm just not gonna
they're
go
producing
visit.
honey.
He said it has lots of bees.
I was just gonna ask if you're gonna need signage.
I do want to clarify, this isn't just for bees. It's for all insects that pollinate, including flies, and those kind of insects also attract birds and butterflies. Pollinator garden is all-inclusive.
Well, to me, a butterfly one, they'll land on people, whereas what she's talking about
So
is
will
not.
the bees.
Yes, I know, that's why I said, I'm not going anywhere, there's a lot of bees. But, you know, I don't think it would be a place if there's bees and there's flies and there's all kinds of insects. People are not gonna wanna go visit it anyways.
Do these regenerate on their own year to year after that?
Yes, it would be simple maintenance of one planting and then done.
These are all perennials then?
Correct.
Pretty much. Yeah, I know the importance of this, and I love the idea.
I do too.
I want, could you guys take a look then at both the master plan and the Park and Rec vision?
Work together on
Not that I'm saying no to out back of the municipal building, but perhaps take a look at, I'd hate to see us plant something and then a year or two later, we want to develop that area and really come back with some areas that we could possibly make this work.
Okay. And then we'll come back with visuals and stuff, because obviously helps you see what it would actually look like.
Could
Maybe
you-
not the exact area, but what these gardens
Right.
actually look like.
Seeing a
Well-
mature area that's actually active, I think
We
that
can
would
show
be
you a
great
year
to
out.
show.
We can get pictures
to
of
show
3 years
council.
out, a 5-year out type one. So we can, we can work together and bring that back.
Well, I'm sure everyone's been to Cox Arboretum. Just put-
Yeah, the
Put that picture in
butterflies.
your head, and that's what it would be like. And as far as all the bugs and everything, when I went up there, I have to say, I've not been bothered by I go out in my yard and I've got bees, ants, every bug you can think of, but I've got spray if they get on my porch.
But we don't want you to spray them.
They're my bugs, I can spray them.
They're my bugs. I like that.
They're trespassing.
They're not allowed, just like the other things. Anyway, I would like to see something by the sign down on, going up on Dryden Road. I know we've got the little trees, but I would love to see some flowers there. We had them at, I think, the first year or something.
Exit 50.
And it looked so good, and then they never came back. We never had them back. So I'd like to see you do something there.
All right, well, we can do that.
Well, thank you. I'll go ahead and move forward with this. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds great.
Did anyone else have anything they wanted to say? I'll start with the law director,
No, ma'am, thank you.
finance director,
I have nothing, thank you.
our acting clerk of council,
Nothing tonight.
Mr. Daughtery,
Nothing to report, Ms. Marcus, thank you.
Mr. Burchett,
No report, thank you.
Mr. Miller,
Nothing else, thank you.
city manager,
I have nothing, thank you.
Mayor Murphy,
I have nothing further, thank you.
Mrs. Witt,
Everybody just observe Memorial Day and remember why we celebrate it.
Ms. Marcus, I'm sorry, I do have one item. Can we go ahead and make a motion to appoint Mr. Vitor as acting clerk of council? Even though it's already done, just for this meeting and for the regular meeting, to make sure we cover that base, please.
so we maybe, since he does this fairly often, we make it kind of like a
Standing, you can
semi-permanent?
make it. I hear objections to that, so let's just do it on a case-by-case basis for this meeting and for the regular meeting tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we make Aaron, our council person for tonight, acting
Acting clerk.
council person for the regular council meeting and for the committee of the whole meeting.
Acting clerk.
Acting clerk. Anything else I need to correct?
Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
So if I don't call roll, it doesn't count, right? Mayor Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Daughtery,
Yes.
Mr. Burchett, Ms. Witt,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus.
Yes. And if we have anything else, we'll conclude this meeting at 6:53.